I would like to give some information about the faecal sludge system for the tendering for that. As you know, the tendering will be in a design, construct and operation and maintenance system. So it looked wise for me to make a decomposition of the process of this faecal sludge management system. And maybe it's good to have some information about that, how we look at this process. So for this I made a decomposition scheme for the faecal sludge management system. You see it behind on the screen. The blue part is the process of the faecal sludge management system. Then here are some aspects that you could think of when you make the tender, and also I think there is a relation between the constructor who will construct the faecal sludge management system and also for the utilities. So what is the relation between them? What aspects do the utilities have to do, and what has the constructor have to do? For instance, for the sludge administration, who is doing the sludge administration? Is that the constructor, and does he report it to the utilities? So also I think there is a relation with the business plan. The business plan will give information about how the processes are running with the utilities, and also what things you have to do with the contractor to get it done. So I think the contractor is responsible for the process, but the utilities have to take a look or the process is done well, and also take notice of the information of the process, like the sludge amount, the quality of the sludge, and so on. So I think we'll describe first the process, the blue part. It will start here with the first one, the long-term specs. You already made some long-term specs in the tender that was made in the past about the sludge amount for the coming 10-15 years, and also the quality of the sludge. You made some analysis of the sludge of different septic tanks and also the public toilets. And you have to, the contractor should know what he can expect per city of the quantity and the quality of the sludge. It will give him information about how to construct the faecal sludge installation. Also, it's good to know that there should be some licensing on the entrepreneurs that have the vacuum trucks. That there are some hotels who have a vacuum truck themselves. There are also the university will have, for instance, have a vacuum truck, or other big organizations have a vacuum truck. So they should bring it to the faecal sludge management place. So you also have some licensing, and maybe the municipality can do that. Make some licensing and also for to take the sludge to the faecal sludge management plan. Second one is the collection and transport. Who organizes it? I think it's also the contractor who can organize it, but also the small enterprises who have a vacuum truck will organize it, and there will also be some payment about it from the who disposes the septic sludge and who transport it, and also for the treatment at the faecal sludge management plant should be some payment for that. So how do you manage that? How is the administration for that? Is that the utilities who do that, or is that a contractor who's doing that? So think about that. Also, you have to you want to construct public toilets. I think it's a project that can be a loan that can be taken out without this project for faecal sludge management, but you have to, in your long-term aspects, you should have also these toilets. But you can see it as a separated project. Then the receiving at the treatment plant. There should be a good administration. They have to know where to put the septic sludge. So it's on the contractor and also give some information to the contractor and in the tender how you think to organize that. What should be the responsibility of the contractor? What is the responsibility of the utilities? And how do you manage the administration for this? I will give some advice on the administration, by the way. Then the disposal. Disposal, you have to have a nice and a good and also have a safe place where they can put the septic tanks, where they can put their septic in. It should be enough room for more than one septic tanks, vacuum trucks. Of course, vacuum trucks, maybe there are 3 at one time, or maybe 2 or 3 that can load or dispose their sludge into the system. Also, the hygienic part is a good to think about. Of course, also with the corona virus, the COVID virus 19, we also found it in the sewer system, the virus. So also the health aspects and also the safety aspects are very important at this part. And you can write something down in the tender. Then we have the waste removal. I think the septic will have some waste, like plastics or other parts, papers, branches, leaves from the trees. So you have to dispose this waste, and it's good to, you don't have to describe how they do it in the tender, but you can make some quality aspect for the sludge. For instance, have a screen for 6 millimeters, so the particles in the sludge may not be bigger than 6 millimeters. So describe this in the tender, and also you can give some aspects on on how many screens there should be. So you know, when one screen is down, then it can't be that the whole plant is down at that moment. So you have to think about reserve of the screens and give some advice that always, for instance, 80 or 90% must be available for the incoming sludge. So, also you have to think about the waste disposal. Where is it going to? Is it going to the disposal of the solid waste, for instance, that you have already in the city, or where is it going to? In the Netherlands we can reuse the product, for instance, for the toilet paper that's in. That's a possibility, but I think in this part it will go to the disposal side of the municipality. When you also have to arrange that aspects so that the constructor can bring it to that disposal site from the municipality. When the waste is out of the sludge, it's good to stabilize the sludge. That will be that pathogens and viruses are killed, and there are several ways to do that. Mostly it's in common in old situation. You put it away for 30 days You can do it, for instance, in an EMOF tank or in a settling tank, but also think here about the hygiene and also the healthy aspects that should be there. No contact with the sludge. It's also a possibility to make a digester for it. We do that for bigger cities. We do that in the Netherlands. All the sludge that's coming from faecal sludge or also from the treatment plants are going to a digester, and it's digested. And then an option is to make methane gas. It will form methane gas mostly at a temperature of 35, 36 degrees. It's also possible to do it on 60 degrees. But I think it's good to digest it and think about it, because you also can make energy of the gas. For instance, an EMOF tank or a cold digestion at about 20 degrees will deliver gas with methane percentage of about 45–50% of methane. When you do it you digest it with a higher temperature, it can go faster, and you don't have to expect it for the 30 days. You can do it in 20 days, for instance. And also you get a gas, methane gas from about 65% of methane, and a gas engine can run very good on that. And it will be hard when you have a digestion of 45–50%. It will be hard to run a gas engine on that. So think about it. And when you have the energy, so then you also have gas and energy in case of an energy failure from the city. You still have gas, so you can run your screens and also your treatment of the rest of the faecal sludge installation. So think about it, make gas and you have electricity, and then you're not depending on the electricity from the city. That was the sludge stabilization, so you can think of biogas production and also electricity production. Then you have to dry. You have the decay stage from the sludge stabilization. You can dry it in drying beds. We can also think about 4% dry sludge and bring it to the fields with 4% dried sludge, and not with dried sludge on a drying bed. For instance, we did it in the past in the Netherlands, but you have to admire that there are some heavy metals, for instance, in the sludge. So the quality of the sludge is very important for reuse in the agriculture. So we also have to make some analysis of the sludge for instance, nitrogen and phosphate, so you know what you can reuse in the agriculture. This is good to know, not only the analysis of the sludge for making the sludge treatment plants, but also look at it what you can make for to bring it in the agriculture. You need other analysis for that. You can give an advice on that right away. So you have dried sludge at the end, or you have sludge, fluid sludge at 4.5%. In both ways you can bring it to the agriculture, and only when it's dry you can also dispose it to the local sludge disposal of the municipality. So the sludge stabilization you also get when you get out the water in the drying beds or from the sludge stabilization. For instance, with a thickener, you get wastewater treatments. You still have some water out of it that you have to treat, and it depends on the effluent quality, what system you need for this stabilization, for this treatment. So you can think about it, for instance, an AVR, but it should be simple, but also think about the future. When you want to make a wastewater treatment plant, for instance, when you have a sewer system, also think about the wastewater treatment of that, and you can combine it. So it's good to name it in the tender that they have to take notice of in the future for wastewater treatment plants, and so what you build can be reused in the situation of a wastewater plant. That's also for the sludge stabilization. So when you make a digester, you can also use it for the sludge from a treatment plant, wastewater treatment plant in the future. So I named here in the orange part different aspects. Also there are some common aspects in the tender. For instance, the permittance, health and safety aspects. What is the relation between the utilities and the constructor in the future, in the operation phase and the maintenance phase? What are the responsibilities? How are the payments? And so that should be described between the contractor and the utilities. I think that's also part of the business plan, and we come later to that. So far, take a look at all the aspects. I think for the aspect of the administration, we will give an advice on this. The administration of the faecal sludge. So far, I thank you for your attention.